Yo, what's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with NoOffSeason.com. Welcome to the Sports Card Strategy Show. Today, we are going to have a jam-packed show. It might be faster than normal, but it's going to be power-packed with great information to help you become a better sports card investor. We're going to have some FAQ from the Facebook group. You can join the Facebook group if you go to sportscardstrategy.com and click on Join Our Facebook group. We're going to have our Starstock Buy of the Week, of course, and we're going to have some questions for Murph. Whether or not Murph will be the one answering them is a whole other story, so stay tuned for that. Of course, we are brought to you by MarketMoversApp.com by Sports Card Investor. It's the best place to track the data of your entire collection. Learn, all the historical data that tells you who to buy low and when to sell them high, who's got the most opportunity. Of course, our show does that, but MarketMoversApp.com has all the historical analytical data that you need. Use the promo code. Guys, use the promo code when you sign up at MarketMoversApp.com. Save 20%. What is the promo code, you ask? The promo code is no off-season, all lowercase. You save 20% on MarketMoversApp.com. In spite of PSA acquiring Card Ladder, we believe MarketMoversApp.com is still the best place to get all the analytical data of the cards that you are looking for. So go to MarketMoversApp.com, use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, and save 20%. Now, we've also got some friends of the show that we like to shout out, and one of those friends of the show is Starstock. We do our Starstock Buy of the Week, which is coming up soon on the show, and you can get a free $10 at Starstock.com, also by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. All right, it's time for the audience mailbag section from the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. And again, we want you to get in on this. So in order to do that, go to sportscardstrategy.com and click the links to subscribe to the YouTube channel and join the Facebook group. You will be immediately let in by myself and encouraged to participate so that we can get you on the show. So let's jump in and see who asked questions to be answered on this week's episode. So we've got a couple new members here. Merle in the third. He asks, what is your favorite place or places to buy cards? Now for me, because I live in Spain, I've got a little bit of a disadvantage. I can't go to card shows, but I do love card shows. When I was in the U.S. for the summer with my son Max, we went to the Nashville Card Show twice because we live, we have relatives in Middle Tennessee, and if and when we eventually move back to the United States, chances are it'll be in Middle Tennessee. But anyway, went to the Nashville Card Show and absolutely loved the experience there. Definitely were able to make some deals. So, I mean, card shows are probably my favorite, although I have to, right now, I can't go to card shows. So my actual favorite, what I'm doing these days is eBay. Now, I wrote a book called What to Do After You Find Your Old Sports Card Collection. And in that book, I actually trashed eBay because I was having a really bad experience when I first got back into the hobby on eBay. Just a lot of technical difficulties, and I think maybe they were having some issues with their platform, but that was last January, and actually since July, which is after the book came out, I've had a great experience on eBay. I've become a top-ranked seller, and I've also become a better sports card strategist because of eBay, because you can basically learn so much from bidding and watching items on eBay, and you could do it at scale. Whereas at a card show, you have to drive to the card show, you have to be there physically, you have to walk around from table to table, you have to spend a lot of time flipping through cards. But on eBay, you can kind of be doing anything else in the world and have an idea, search a card, scroll through and make bids, watch items, get email alerts, really be kind of have a full experience. And on the singles side of things, that's really what I'm most interested in personally. So I know this answer is going to be different for everyone. I encourage a lot of people in the Facebook group to actually answer this for Merle, and I would be excited to see what everyone else's answers are. The other place that I've been mainly buying cards on eBay, but then also Starstock is fun. It's not great just yet because what people will do essentially is they'll list a card way high because there's no like auction feature. So all of the cards, typically it's hard to find a deal on Starstock, which is why I do a segment called Starstock Buy of the Week. When I actually find something, I want to let you guys know about it. So yeah, I would say eBay. And then Mark Oldham, he has a great question here. So Mark asks, what's your take on submitting multiples of the same card to the same grading company at the same time? Do you believe this is a non-issue for the outcome of the grades with cards being looked at individually, or do you believe this can possibly have an adverse effect on the remaining cards that might be 10 quality if my first card gets a lower grade such as a 9? Meaning from a grader perspective, if they all look very similar and the first one is a 9, then they all must be a 9. Okay, fair question, and I don't know for sure, but based on my bulk submissions of hundreds of cards and having done this multiple times and having done some research into the grading companies, I don't think submitting multiple cards of the same, the same card has an adverse effect on your grading. If anything, what you're doing by doing that is you're increasing your chances of getting the Gem Mint 10 or the 9.5 if you're submitting it to Beckett or whatever, but the Gem Mint 10 for PSA and for SGC. I think what you're doing is you're just taking extra swings at the plate in the home run derby to hit more home runs, essentially. So I like the strategy. I mean, I think if you've got a card that's worth grading in the first place, and then you've got multiples of that, I would send them all in unless there's an obvious issue with one of the cards. So I think, Mark, I see where you're going, but you might be overthinking that one just a little bit. I'm wondering, have you done this? I've done it multiple times, and it's always worked out pretty well for me, even with vintage cards, but especially with ultra modern cards. All right, now let's go to the YouTube questions. Thanks for commenting and asking questions on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Paul Hickey. And if you want to subscribe to that, just go to sportscardstrategy.com and click the button to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Ask a question there, make a comment, get shouted out on the show. All right, Chris Olivo. We love you, man. Super active on the YouTube channel, and it really helps us out. So he asked a couple questions last week, and then he asked another question this week, and we will always answer Chris's questions. So he's talking about his take on a couple things before we get to his question. He thinks Joel Embiid rookies are undervalued. I don't disagree with him. I just think the question is, will Joel Embiid stay healthy enough to dominate and lead his team? Basically, will he be this year's Giannis? I think you have to, if you believe that Joel Embiid is going to be Giannis either this year or next year, like Giannis was in 2021, basically what I mean specifically is leading his team to an NBA championship and dominating. Giannis literally scored 50 points in the NBA Finals clinching game. One of the best finals performances of all time, without a doubt. So if Joel Embiid has one of those performances, then I think in hindsight, his rookie cards are undervalued. So if you believe that's the case, which you think is the case, Chris, based on your comment on YouTube, I think that Joel Embiid would be a good investment. Juan Soto, certainly on the Nationals, is Chris's other call. I don't disagree with you on this either. If Soto actually gets some protection in the lineup, Chris says, and he starts seeing some pitches, imagine what his numbers would be like. Could be a generational player like Trout. I think that's true. I think we need to keep an eye on Soto, possibly move him into the top 50 at some point on our sports card investment report. Go to nooffseason.com/invest to check that out. But Chris's question, he says, not sure if you collect hockey cards. I feel like they are way overpriced these days. Ovechkin would be the one smart buy as he's on pace to break Gretzky's goal record, barring he stays healthy for 3 to 4 more years. Yeah, I think hockey is gaining momentum. I think hockey is super niche, kind of just like soccer. So I think it's risky for someone that doesn't really know hockey and hasn't really bought and sold hockey cards recently to jump right into buying and spending a bunch of money on hockey. So I agree with you from that standpoint. I kind of see it like soccer. Whereas for me, I've gotten my feet wet with soccer. I've bought and sold soccer cards, and now I understand like what a good price is on a certain guy. Soccer's a lot like baseball. I think soccer's a lot like baseball prospecting. Let's put it that way, where the younger guys can cost a lot more money than you would think. Hockey, I don't know as much about, but what I can tell you is that the data actually says that right now isn't the best time to buy Alexander Ovechkin. I think I agree with you that he's a good call for the reasons that you stated. He could break Gretzky's goal record, and he is on pace to do it. And he's going to go down as an all-time great regardless. I think he has to break Gretzky's all-time goal record if he's going to be a really, really good sports card investment, just because I think that for him to break through into the mainstream, i.e. the non-hockey fans, the non-hockey collectors, I think he has to be the number one goal scorer of all time in order to do that. Right now, though, all of his cards are up by like 30 to 50% over the last 30 days. So I think that's because of the reason that you mentioned. And I think that right now, if you were to buy, it would actually be a bit of a chase on Ovechkin. There are a couple exceptions to that. He has a Prism Silver in 2013. So it's not, he was a rookie in 2005. So this is not a rookie card, but it appears to be, if not his first Prism, one of his first Prisms or his first Prism Silver. And in PSA 9, there's a recent sale of $305. So I think that would be an example of a card that's a good investment, because if you're going to have something cross over to the mainstream of the sports card investment world from hockey, and the mainstream being basketball, baseball, football, I think it being a Panini Prism Silver would make it more desirable to sort of the mainstream or average, if you will, sports card investor and not hockey niche person. So the 2013 Prism Silver, and then there is actually only one of his cards that's down that makes it potentially smart buy low, if you will. And it's not a cheap card. It's his 2005 Upper Deck Black Diamond base. It says Rookie Gems on it. And it's been selling for as low as $1,000 since June. Actually, let me be very specific on this. It's actually not down in PSA 10. In PSA 10, it's actually tripled in value since June, which is what scares me about buying him now. Yeah, in PSA 10, its last 3 sales, like you could have got his PSA 10 of this card. So this is actually a perfect example of what I'm talking about with Ovechkin's pricing going up and it not being a great time to buy him right now, because even and you got to be careful on how you read your reports on Sports Card Investor or Market Movers app, because while I love the tool and I endorse the tool, what I'm here to do is to help you analyze the data and make good decisions. And so if you look at the tool, you see that the card's down 17%. But here's what you really have to look at. In June, the PSA 10 of this card sold for $1,000. In July, it sold for $1,800. In October, it sold for $2,600. November 6th, it sold for $4,000. And then November 14th, it sold for $3,300. So while it's down 17% in PSA 10 over the last 30 days, because it went down from $4,000 to $3,300, it's still actually up 3x from where it was, more than 3x from where it was 7 months ago. So it's just not a great time to buy Ovechkin right now. It's just not. So what we're seeing is actually the spike for him. And if he cools off and his cards go down a little bit towards the end of the NHL season or the NHL off season, I think actually wait till June, July, even August of 2022 to buy Ovechkin. So that's my answer to your question on Alex Ovechkin, Chris. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. Everybody, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Facebook group. Get into the mailbag. I will answer your question. I will shout you out on the show. Really appreciate you asking questions. Thanks for helping me build a great community here, guys. And let's keep each other on our toes in terms of making the best sports card investment decisions possible. All right, now let's bring in my man Murph, the great Murph Venus, Nathan Edward. It's great to have you on the show as always. And last week we did an episode without you, so I really missed you. I'm not sure whether or not the audience missed you. We'll let them say in the comments and on the Facebook group. But I missed you, and it's good to have you back. We are going to, once we get through the holiday season and all the transitions in both of our lives, we are going to have a consistent routine with the great Murph Venus on the show. But there's a couple questions I want to ask you today in a briefer segment to maximize your time. And one of them is NFL related, quarterback related. So of the following 5 quarterbacks, you can buy one guy. Who is it and why? So it's either Dak, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Kyler Murray.
That is an awesome question, man. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with that group of quarterbacks that you talked about. I mean, when you ask about short-term versus long-term, man, you couldn't hit a home run anymore on the folks that you picked. I'm going to hit on the long-term first. You're not going to go anything wrong with Patrick Mahomes. Here's the thing. You're not going to be able to easily flip Dak for a high percentage increase. And the reason why is because he's already done a lot of the things that you want the quarterback to do to be able to get that massive jump. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's already been to 2. He's thrown 50 touchdown passes and will again this year. And he's a perennial all-pro damn near every single year. I just don't see flippability on somebody like that. I just don't. But do you make a lot of money in the long term when he strings together another decade of the same things that he's doing right now, barring a serious injury? Absolutely. That's like a freaking mutual fund that you're going to go and you're going to get and you're going to hold it because it always returns 8 to 10%. Always. He's going to have a down year. You don't sell it then. You ride out Patrick Mahomes because he's that good. I've already talked about kind of where my feelings are with Dak. I'm not fully sold on Dak. I'm just not. And some of that has to do with the team that he's on. I think that you're going to have some of the widest swings out there in terms of flippability with a quarterback like that because Dallas hasn't done anything in the playoffs. You know, playoffs, but you all of a sudden get a win for Dallas, and the price of the Dak card's going to go up. But I'm not a huge believer in his long term like I am about Mahomes. Everyone else on that list is going to be fantastic. Lamar, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, I would probably rank them as just what I said. Lamar, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray as far as the 3 in that order, the ones that you're going to be able to flip and then also really have for the long term. Great organization in Baltimore. Josh Allen isn't going anywhere in Buffalo. And at some point, I do think there may be the ability to figure out what Cliff Kingsbury is doing. But at the end of the day, there's so many weapons in Arizona. They're going to be playing in February very soon, if not this year. You can't miss with any of them. I mean, it's just a hard question to answer. You can't lose with any of these guys. But in terms of the one that's not going to be flippable, I just don't see it being Mahomes. He's the guy you hang on for the long term.
Murph, here's the next question, bud. NBA version of this. You can buy one of the following. Who is it and why? KD, That's Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, LaMelo Ball, or Anthony Edwards.
Very similar to what your question was about the NFL, Hicks. You got a player there that's probably already seen his massive increase in what he can do. I can't see Kevin Durant having swings of 30 to 40% to the negative. And I can't necessarily see if he wins an MVP, wins a scoring title, wins another NBA championship, hear him having a 30 to 40% increase. You're just going to make money in small chunks with somebody like Kevin Durant. I buy Kevin Durant for 20 years from now, not for 3 months from now, not for 6 months from now. As far as the other guys, I would probably rank them as Ja, LaMelo, and Anthony. Anthony currently is on a team that needs him to do exactly what he's doing. They don't have a lot around him, and at the end of the day, Minnesota hasn't proved that they can win since Kevin Durant was in the uniform. But Ja Morant is on a team that has won, has some history in the Western Conference Finals, has a loyal fan base that expects them to do well. And I actually like Morant to be the best of those three. LaMelo Ball, I don't know. Michael is obviously I know everything about the 90s Bulls. He's my favorite athlete of all time, him and Tiger. But he hasn't proved that he can be an executive that can put people around a guy like LaMelo. I'm not even fully sold that LaMelo will be in a Charlotte uniform in the coming years beyond his rookie contract. I just think his dad will come into play and all of that. So I just think there's a lot of other things that impact his value beyond a 3 to 4 month flip. Durant long term, Ja long term, and flippable. Anthony Edwards and LaMelo, flippable opportunities with a lot to prove that they're a long-term investment.
All right, Murph. Wow, buddy. I couldn't disagree with you more on Anthony Edwards. He's actually number 1 on our sports card investment report. You can go to nooffseason.com/invest to check that out and read the report that I wrote about why Anthony Edwards is the best sports card investment right now. But Murph, thanks for being on the show, buddy. I really, really love you. I really, really love your answers. And it's always great having the great Murph Venus on the show. I really, really appreciate having you, Nathan Edward, the great Murph Venus, on the Sports Card Strategy Show. You are a critical piece of the show, my friend. And let's just keep this great momentum going. I'll talk to you again soon, bud. Have a great day. All right, now it's time for probably my favorite segment every week, and it is our Starstock Buy of the Week. Now, one reason it's my favorite is because I get to give all of you who haven't registered for Starstock just yet a free $10. So register at starstock.com and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, when you register to get a free $10 towards any card purchase at starstock.com. And the second reason why I like it is because I get to use data and analytics to kind of show you guys what a good buy is. Now, sometimes the good buy is obvious, where you can go on Starstock and just see comparative pricing. Wow, this card is $10 less than it normally is on eBay, or even $50 less than it normally is on eBay. And some weeks we have those, but last week we didn't. We had more of a little hack to save a few bucks on a Cole Anthony card. You can check that out if you go back to last week's episode. But this week we've got a little bit potential bigger payday. This is what I really like to see. So I look for the most transacted cards on Starstock, and then I look for kind of the pattern across the board. You've got things like how many there are for sale in each grade. So this is a buy it now price. $75 is what I'm looking at for a Tyler Hero Prism PSA 10 2019. So that's obviously his rookie Prism in PSA 10. You've got 31 offers from $51. So there's people trying to get this card for way under market value by placing an offer towards someone who has the card for sale, and somebody who has the card for sale could accept that offer at $51 if they want to. But the latest sale is $75. So when you see the latest sale lining up with a price that is equal to or greater than the amount that you could buy now for, that is your first indicator that it could be a deal. And then what I do is I cross-reference that price with the latest eBay sales. So if you look at Tyler Hero, PSA 10 2019 Prism, you see that not only can you get this card for basically the same price on Starstock, you can save on shipping and sales tax. So you're actually getting it less for less on Starstock. And then you don't have to have it shipped to you. It goes directly into your Starstock portfolio. You own the card, so you can have it shipped to yourself at a later date. Or if you sell it, you can have Starstock ship it to somebody that you sell it to. But I would have it shipped to you first, so then you know how long it's going to take to get to the person that you sold it to. But you don't have to. You can actually transact it right on the platform. So what I'm talking about here is if you just want to hold the Tyler Hero PSA 10 in your portfolio and you think that it's going to go up in the future, Starstock is the better buy than eBay because you can buy now for $75 on the PSA 10, or you could make an offer. You could be a best offer at just over $51 and see if they accept that. But I think even at the $75 buy it now price, you don't pay the sales tax, you don't pay the shipping, you get it in your portfolio. So you basically get it for less than market value right now. And oh, by the way, this card is also a great buy now because it's down 25% from where it was 30 days ago. And it's one of the most transacted cards, easy to sell cards. So if you believe in Tyler Hero being the 6th man of the year, now is a great time actually to pull trigger on his PSA 10 in general. And it's a better time to do it on Starstock because you can save a few bucks and increase your profit margin. So again, if you're into this, go to starstock.com, register, use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, and get a free $10. And then your Tyler Hero card really only costs you $65. You're welcome. You're in at well below market value on a card that could definitely go to $150 when Hero wins 6th man of the year as part of leading the Miami Heat, hopefully to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe even the NBA Finals. That's not my prediction, but it definitely could happen. I like that card. I like that deal on Starstock over eBay. So definitely go in there and take a look. All right, everybody. This has been your Starstock Buy of the Week. Thank you for listening and for watching the Sports Card Strategy Show. Once again, I'm Paul Hickey with NoOffSeason.com. I would love it if you do a couple different things for me. Go to nooffseason.com/invest and check out our sports card investment report. We've put a lot of work into that, and we're going to continue to put a lot of work into that for you. You can see the top 50 players of all sports that we think are the best investments in terms of their sports cards, along with the write-ups for each player. Also, don't forget to go to marketmoversapp.com and save 20% on the best place to get all the analytical tools that you need, all the data that you need to track your collection and learn who to buy low and when to sell them high. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, at marketmoversapp.com to save 20%. With those two tools, nooffseason.com/invest, which takes you to the sports card investment report, and marketmoversapp.com, which gives you 20% with the promo code NOOFFSEASON, which gives you 20% off using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. You're going to be armed to make the best sports card investments you can possibly make. And oh, by the way, it's super fun. All right, everybody. Happy collecting. There is no off-season in the hobby. Thanks and have a great day.